So if you've ever started a meditation practice, you've probably had this thought, right? Okay, I'm doing this new thing for my well-being, but what about my old habits? What about that glass of wine I really enjoy after a long day? It's a super common question, and today we're going to look at a pretty fascinating way to think about how those two things can, or maybe can't, coexist.
Let's just put the question right out on the table. If you start meditating, does that mean you have to give up drinking? Or any other lifestyle choice for that matter? It can feel like a real conflict, like you're pitting a simple daily pleasure against this new spiritual practice. But what if the answer isn't a straightforward yes or no?
Okay, here's where we start to reframe the whole thing. The perspective we're exploring today suggests we should stop thinking about this as a question of what's right or wrong. This isn't about morality at all. Instead, it's about looking at it from a much more practical angle, the actual chemistry of our own nervous system.
To really get this, we need to be on the same page about what meditation is trying to do here. In this context, it's all about cultivating purity. Now think of it like this. Imagine your nervous system is a radio that's full of static from years of stress. Meditation is the process of cleaning up that signal, purifying it, so that the beautiful music, the positive results in your life can come through loud and clear.
And this is absolutely the most important part. I really want to land this point. This is not a moral lesson. There's no judgment, no guilt, no one wagging a finger and telling you what you should or shouldn't do. It's all about your personal, direct experience. The whole idea is for you to become the scientist of your own inner world, to just observe what happens.
So how does this actually play out in real life? Well, it all comes down to the quality of our inner experience. As you start to meditate, you begin to access a new state of being. And you can draw a really stark contrast between that feeling and the feelings you get from, external things.
And check this out. It's like you have two options. On one side, you have these chemical states, that drink that gives you temporary relief from stress. But let's be honest, it kind of dulls your perception a little, right? It fuzzes the edges. But then on the other side, you have the inner peace that comes from meditation. And that's a whole different animal. It's a deep, lasting joy that doesn't dull you. In fact, it brings you even more clarity and sharpness.
And this really says it all. Once you start to regularly tap into that deep, quiet, joyful place inside yourself, the experience is so satisfying that the temporary, chemically induced feelings, they just can't compete. Honestly, there's just no comparison. It's like comparing a firecracker to the actual sun.
So let's see where this goes, because this leads to a pretty amazing outcome. The idea isn't that you have to use brute force or willpower to quit things. It's not about gritting your teeth and resisting. Instead, as your inner world changes, what you want on the outside just starts to reshape itself, almost like magic.
So what does this unraveling process even look like? Well, it's a pretty natural progression. You start by just practicing consistently, say twice a day. From that, this feeling of deep contentment, this pure bliss, it starts to bubble up more and more. And as that inner feeling gets stronger and more familiar, the old external pleasures, they just start to lose their sparkle. And what happens then? Well, those old habits tend to just fall away. No fight required.
And this isn't just about one thing either. People who stick with their practice often report that a whole bunch of habits just become less interesting over time. We're talking about alcohol, recreational drugs, tobacco. For some people, even that morning cup of coffee. There are no hard and fast rules. It's just a natural shift in what you prefer.
So, if there's one major theme here, it's this. This whole journey is about learning to trust yourself. It's not about blindly following some dogma. It's about developing and then listening to your own inner compass. Your direct experience becomes the only authority you really need.
Okay, I have to pause here for a really, really important clarification. This whole conversation about things dropping away absolutely does not apply to prescription medications. The advice here is crystal clear. You always stay with your doctor's instructions. If you think a prescription might be getting in the way of your practice, the only person to talk to about that is your doctor, period. And this brings us to what might be the most powerful and empowering takeaway of all. The ultimate teacher, the ultimate guide, the guru, isn't some person out there somewhere. It's that deep, quiet wisdom that already exists inside of you. The practice is just about clearing the path so you can finally hear it.
So we'll end with a question for you to take with you. As you go about your day, as you practice, as you find those small pockets of quiet, what is that inner silence telling you? Because chances are your own experience holds all the answers you're looking for.